Yes, Brisbane Roar fans enjoying being back at the scene of their greatest triumphs. 3 grand finals in front of over 50,000. The days of Ange Ball, Broich, Berisha and Barcelona. How far off are they from a return to those heady heights? The opening day stalemate with MacArthur was encouraging. If you believe the words of Charlie Austin, they battered the Bulls. Tonight they face the back-to-back premiers. Probably the acid test adds to the progress made under Warren Moon. Brisbane, of course, will decamp back to Redcliffe for most of the season after this evening. They haven't won a game at this venue since March 2020, so the fans come in hope this evening. No changes made by Warren Moon from the side that drew with MacArthur. Charlie Austin goes looking for that first goal in Roar colours. Riku Danzaki, the first goal of his second stint with the club. Jordan Holmes continues to get the nod in goal over Macklin Freak. Connor Chapman lines up against the club where he spent 3 years. Nikola Miljuznic is missing from the substitutes list. Jez Lofthouse and Louis Zabala promoted to the bench. And Henry Hoare also remains on the sidelines. Now, City are unchanged as well. Curtis Good has been training but isn't risked with that big Melbourne derby to come next week. So Scott Jamieson continues in a rather unfamiliar central defensive role. Jamie McLaren plays his 100th game for City in all competitions. In his previous 99, he's netted a remarkable 78 goals. Berisha, of course, is back at Suncorp tonight. Vallon, not Bessart. And Thomas Lamb, another one of the imports, is good to go despite being forced off the field against Western United last week. Florent Berenguer and Nuno Reis remain on the sidelines. Can Brisbane provide the service on a pristine surface, it must be said? Rather humid evening though, we're told in Brisbane. Temperatures 23 degrees, but a bit sticky. And it is Melbourne City in the City blue, kicking from right to left on your screens in this first half to get us underway. The 37th meeting between the two. City holding the advantage historically with 18 wins to 12. They haven't won here since 2017-18 when Marcin Bujinski, remember him, and Stefan Mork overturned Massimo Maccaroni's goal for Roar. What does tonight have in store for us, Daniel McBreen?
Well, hopefully plenty of goals, Simon. We've got goal scorers aplenty out there. Pitch is in perfect condition. Crowds filling in to welcome their team back into this spiritual home of theirs. And I'm sure both teams will be looking to perform and give them something to cheer about.
Melbourne City looking to return to the top of the A-League ladder tonight. They're jointly at the moment, of course, after just one round. Got a throw in here. They have spent 29 of the last 52 rounds over the past 2 seasons in top spots. They have been remarkably consistent. Jamieson. Berisha. And it'll break for City here. Turned out by Leckie. City building nicely here. They were looking for Leckie in the centre. They'll get a corner off Aldred.
Well, again, we saw there Melbourne City with the press, just waiting on a mistake. The pass was under hit. Immediately the ball went forward. 4 numbers trying to get in the box.
First corner of the game. Tarash Kamulka to deliver. The outswinger. And Leckie got his head to it. And got it on target. No problems for Jordan Holmes. Might be a bit disappointed with that, Matt Leckie.
Well, Aldrid's just having a little inquiry as to how he can have a free head. No one with him at all.
That's been their problem, Brisbane. Going back to last season. Scoring goals. Here's Leckie for City, deflected, and that touch off Neville just favoured Jordan Holmes, and Brisbane are grateful for it.
Well, it could have gone anywhere, couldn't it? Nice play from Leckie, gets the head up, and it's a double deflection.
played an international for them. Connor Chapman's run that over the byline. It's going to be another corner for City.
Well, he seemed to have that under control there, Connor Chapman. I thought he was just going to use his body, shield the ball over the line, and decided to take a touch. Just put his team under a little bit of pressure where I don't think it needed to be.
In front of the Den. Another corner for Melbourne City. Again, it's going to be Tarash Gamulka. Lecky's had a couple of headers from these situations. Towards that area again, and it is Lecky climbing. Who will it drop for? It's Naboots who thrashes it into the back of the net, and Melbourne City lead. It's just a second goal in 22 A-League games for Andrew Naboots. A timely reminder, perhaps to Graham Arnold, that he's still in the mix for the World Cup. And City hit the front.
Well, the Harvey Norman replay will show that Brisbane Roar, they just couldn't get rid of it. And it was the Melbourne City players who were more hungry, more determined. And as the ball fell down, it's a lovely little touch there from Lamb, I believe. And Naboo, first time on the half volley, just smashes it into that bottom corner. And there's nothing that Jack Hingett or Jordan Holmes could do about it.
Brisbane with everybody behind the ball. Touched by Lecky, and it finds its way through for Jamie McLaren. It should have been two. Credit to Jordan Holmes for a fine stop. And perhaps the flag has gone up in any case. That would have rescued Brisbane. But there are ominous signs here for Brisbane Roar.
It was lovely interplay here, wasn't it? One-touch football, and you can just see Jamie McLaren just drifted into an offside position. Brisbane Roar players knew that, but it was great play from City, straight through the heart of the Brisbane Roar defence.
Touched by Knowles. Clip into the box, Danzaki with the back heel, chance here for Brisbane. Oh, and Scott Jamieson dangled out a foot. Any sort of contact, it might have been an own goal by City, but he thought better of it. And City will look to break. Boots is fouled again. It looked a trifle soft, and by your body language, Danny McBreen, sounds like you agree.
I thought he won the ball fair and square. We talk about the woes of Brisbane Roar and their scoring. It was a wonderful lead-up play. Zaki involved, Knowles, and that's where you needed Charlie Austin to get across that front post.
Work for Lecky. Jordan Boss. Ginger getting back off after that collision. City continue. They don't care. Oh, now there is contact in the box, and referee Danaskos says penalty. Chapman on Berisha, and City have a spot kick. I think it's Talbot, my mistake, but it is Chapman who is the offender.
He does stick a leg out, doesn't he? Just puts a leg out there and there's contact. Yep. Does impede the run of Talbot. He may go down easily, but there is contact.
Has now coughed up a penalty, and it's the former Brisbane Roar favourite. Not so these days, as you can hear. Jamie McLaren, who steps up to the mark. In front of the Den, and he wrong-foots Jordan Holmes to score his second of the season. City are 2 clear. And back at the ground, where he scored 20 goals previously, many of them in Roar colours. Brisbane's former employer is back to haunt them.
Harvey Norman replay there showed Connor Chapman. He just left the leg out. It was enough for Talbot just to run into, really, and go down. And he loves scoring goals, Jamie McLaren. Jono Williams asked before the game, would he celebrate? Well, that was your answer, as he ran around in front of the Den and really gave it to them.
City picking up the scraps as well. It's Aidan O'Neill inside the penalty area, the Brisbane boy. Looking to angle it back to weak clearance, and they can't get it clear. It's McLaren on the turn. It's over the top this time, but Brisbane look oh so nervous defensively.
Yeah, and the pressure keeps coming, doesn't it? one after the other. On this occasion, can't blame him for spinning and turning the strike there.
It's certainly no disgrace to be losing to a team of City's class and consistency over the last couple of seasons. I think the home fans will be a little bit disappointed they haven't seen more of their side in an attacking sense. Maybe that's to come when they attack the Den in the second half. It's been tough going for them in this opening period. City looking good for a first win at Suncorp since 2017-18, which was last season, incidentally, when they won their first two opening matches of a new campaign. They're certainly well on track to do that here. And that is half-time. Smooth sailing, really, for City. Andrew Naboot gave them the lead after 22 minutes. And then Jamie McLaren with the penalty after Callum Talbot had been fouled by Connor Chapman inside the box. He also gave away the corner that led to City's opening goal. A lot to think about for Warramoon. They've got to do much better in the second half. At the break, City in cruise control, leading, as they do, by 2-0. Now double change for Brisbane Roar at the break. Jordan Courtney-Perkins and Ramat Akbari have been summoned by Warramoon as they look to turn things around. And a blast on Tim Danaskos' whistle gets us back underway. And Brisbane Roar, without a single shot at goal in that first 45, have to do an awful lot better, Daniel McBride.
Well, they do. Warramoon's seen enough and made a couple of changes at half times. We'll see what impact that has going into this second half. It's not very often you get through 45 minutes of football in the league and see 0 shots on goal, 0 shots off goal. And that's something that Warramoon will be looking to rectify very quickly in this second half. To get some players up and around those wider areas to get balls into the box.
Jack Hingert and Joe Knowles, the two players who've made way for Brisbane. Joe Knowles, who picked up that first half injury that required the head bandage. Aidan O'Neill, Brisbane boy, of course. There is Ramat Akbari. Scored a couple of times last season. Scoring has been an issue for Brisbane, we know that. Only Perth scored fewer in the A-League men's competition last season. Roar have been kept scoreless in 3 of the last 4 A-League matches. Oh, now that's coming together of legs, and Tim Danaskos had to think about it. He was right on the spot. Just waited to see if any advantage accrued before blasting on the whistle. It's a red card. Wow. Taras Kabolka. I have to say at first glance, it looks high and rather reckless, but the replay will tell us more, Daniel McBride.
I'm not sure if that's a red in my eyes. They both go in, both lunging. For me, that's a yellow card.
He has caught him on the knee. Taras Kabolka, Kai Truin, the victim. Ali Reza Fagadi, the 4th official. Well, again, my feeling, you know, my thoughts on VR, if it takes this long, and we're looking at it 3, 4, 5, 6 times, then you've got to stick with your on-field decision. Maybe not. It's upheld. Red card stands. Tarash Kamorka can't believe it. Melbourne City down to 10. Brisbane Roar have a little bit of hope, perhaps.
And now we might see a little bit more aggressive style of play.
Van der Ven. Leckie looking for the angle. It's not bad. That ball in towards Valon Berisha at the near post. And the Raw defence had to be lively. Oh, that's just too casual for Brisbane. Danzaki turns away in disgust. Van der Ven. Little 1-2. On the outside is Matt Leckie. City threatening a third. In the end, it's put up by Tom Aldred for a corner. Has plenty to say in the aftermath. Just too lackadaisical from Brisbane.
Well, a sloppy play, wasn't it? Capitalised beautifully by Melbourne City. Some lovely, intricate play around the edge of the box. It was that moment there I thought Leckie was just going to dink it up to the back post where Jamie McLaren had peeled off. And you can see what Tom Aldred thinks of it. Not good enough.
Set piece for City then. Valon Berisha to take. Thomas Lamb's in there, Leckie's in there. Goes towards near post area where Tom Aldred was stationed. And changes afoot here, both for Brisbane and for City. Carlo Armiento is going to be withdrawn. Struggled really to make progress up against Callum Talbot, so Cyrus Demi, you'd imagine, would join Charlie Austin up top with Jez Lofthouse moving out wide. And a change for City is going to see the introduction of Scott Galloway at the expense of Valon Berisha. Still finding his feet in the new competition. Looks to be a very handy acquisition. Look how deep Charlie Austin is now dropping to pick up the ball, and this is something you talked about in pre-game. Players of his quality can get frustrated. Here he is, and he gets a shot in, and it is at least on target. Long way out. But he feels as though perhaps the time has come where he's got to try and force things a little bit.
That's when a striker doesn't get much ball.
Melbourne City are not secure yet for the 3 points. It's a foul on Demi. What a chance to maybe throw the central defenders forward. Yep, big Tom Aldred already on his bike. Den into the ground, trying to roar their encouragement for the Raw. Jay O'Shea as ever on set-piece duty. And Glover came for it. I'm not sure he got even a fingertip to that. Just a couple of nervy moments for the City goalkeeper.
Well, I think he got that one all wrong, didn't he? Just misjudged. See there, did he get a finger? I'm not sure.
I don't think he did.
No.
Is there a crumb of comfort for Brisbane at the end? It's an awkward one for Talbot. He got rid pretty quickly. Van der Ven. Galloway has given the ball away. Brisbane probably give it straight back. It's a hot potato at the moment. Denny, clearly fouled. Aidan O'Neill. And if there is to be a miraculous late comeback, a la Grand Final 2011. Sorry, Macca. It's got to start now. Shea again. And again, they only pick out a City blue shirt. And Zaki first to retrieve. Drop of the shoulder, gets away from the defender. The crossing just hasn't been anywhere near good enough. Back in by Truin. Heavy off Danzaki. City get the free kick. And they should be able to see it out from here. A little bit of bad temper to end the game. Probably frustration part of Charlie Austin. And we're going to see a very, very late change to Melbourne City. I'm not sure less than 60 seconds is going to be satisfactory for Marco Tilio and his hopes to go to the World Cup, but as he prepares to come on, let us applaud again the contribution of Jamie McLaren. Macca.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. Again, as we're accustomed to, goals. He'll claim 2 tonight, but he's also his work rate, that pressing, the runs in behind. Even when they went down to down a man, he was still leading that line, pressing. It would have been easy to just sit right back. But another outstanding performance.
And as for Tilio, Paddy Kisnorbo said publicly this week, doesn't matter to him whether he's a World Cup hopeful or not, he's got to earn his spot. Tough love from the coach.
It's even tougher love when you've been put on for a minute. I hope he's got an appearance bonus in his contract, otherwise he might not be a happy chappy.
Do they have those in the A-League?
Well, I didn't. I'm not sure about everyone else. No, I don't think they do.
Well, Tilio's appearance all rather academic because the final whistle blows. And it is back-to-back wins to start the season for the back-to-back premiers, Melbourne City, who are back in the groove. First time they've won back-to-back opening games to start a season since 2017-18. The first time they've won at Suncorp since that particular season as well. As for Brisbane, a very disappointing night at the office as Warren Moon and Paddy Kisnorbo discuss things. Brisbane still without a goal this season, back in the doldrums after that encouraging showing against Macarthur. They'll return to Suncorp later in the season, still waiting for that elusive first win here since March 2020. City played the last half an hour or so with just 10 men, but it didn't matter. They were too good on the night. Brisbane Roar 0, Melbourne City 2.